Are we ready?
The newly formed People's Party of Canada has a different take.
Right now it's overcomplicated, and right now Maxime Bernier wants to introduce two very simple tax brackets. So 15% between $50,000 and $100,000, and then 25% after that. So very simple flat tax. And I've spoke to a few accountants, and they believe it's a good thing. It's a good idea.
Gilbert Jubenville's PPC was recently given a boost when its leader, Maxime Bernier, was granted a seat at the debates. It will give him a platform on the national stage.
But I think Maxime's going to really get a lot of attention across Canada.
Like many suburban ridings, Oakville North Burlington has a transportation problem.
I mean, traffic congestion is obviously an issue, so, quality of life in terms of depending on where you work and commute times, and depending on how flexible your employer is with allowing you to work from home or having flex hours. It can be, as a young working mom, can be a concern, picking children up from school or from daycare, and, traffic jams and things like that are a challenge.
How you doing, sir? Good. How are you? Sean Weir, I'm the candidate.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Sean Weir is running hard against his Liberal opponent. The outcome in this riding is anyone's guess.
Well, I'd say it's a classic Liberal conservative swing riding. It's a relatively wealthy area, fairly conservative in outlook.
Hi, Sean Weir. How are you today?
Pleased to meet you.
I'm pleased to meet you, too.
It can swing an election. It's those kinds of seats that went conservative in 2011 and gave Stephen Harper a majority, and then went towards Justin Trudeau and gave him a majority in 2015.
I can guarantee you one thing. If I get elected, I'll work hard for you. Okay. I'm the candidate, Sean Weir.
There's seats that are in play, and that's what makes them interesting, in that the people aren't dyed-in-the-wool conservative or dyed-in-the-wool Liberal.
Generally in favor of Trudeau.
Okay.
Generally in favor of Trudeau.
On the back here is some of the stuff.
Liberal incumbent Pam Damoff is knocking on doors, trying to hang on to her seat.
Would you be okay if I put a sign up?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
One divisive issue between the two frontrunners is climate change. Sean Weir says the Trudeau carbon tax is just a tax grab that doesn't help the environment.
Carbon tax will not achieve those targets. So we know that. So it's a tax regime. It's not going to help.
Political dickering over climate change isn't what young people in this riding want to hear. They say politicians need to take action now.
Hi, I'm Kane Boyle. I'm 18 years old, and I'm voting for the first time.
Hi, I'm Suha Khan. I'm 18, and I'm going to be voting for the first time this year.
These Guelph University environmental science students who live in the riding say our planet is facing a climate emergency.
Climate change isn't just a part of one party's mandate. It's kind of something that's a fact, and it's something that every political party is going to have to touch upon in order to be relevant in this election.
It's one of those issues that transcends race, age, creed, opinion. It's everyone.
A lot of the problems that we're facing today is because of the older generations. I hate to say it because it sounds like I'm calling them out, but it's true.
Yeah.
And but that's the fact. We're going to have to, the burden's been put on us. We're going to have to do something because no one else is going to. And so that's why it's so important for people to vote, to get their voice heard.
We can't have political candidates who want to work within the system. We need political candidates that can change the system.
And it's an absolute complete waste.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Liberal Pam Damoff is worried about climate change. She held a mini forum on the topic with some of her concerned constituents.
And it's because I hear continuously we're worried about the environment because of our grandkids. What should we be doing? And are we doing enough?
I don't think we can say climate change anymore. No. This is an existential crisis facing us. The time for action was 20 years ago.
Yes, but it has to be, and it's got to be immediate. Mm-hmm. It's not something I think we can talk about for another year.
Is that Taywood?
The Conservative candidate says voters in the riding are also concerned about immigration.
Mr. Trudeau, they bring people from overseas, give him Canadian citizen at an airport. That's not fair. After 5 years, I have to go for Canada citizen. I have to pay $300 Canadian citizen My husband $300. That had time. You know how much is this down payment for house? 100. People's now coming from different country. They got more money than we do. We 50 years, 45 years in Canada. My pension is $850. Refugees got it per person $1,500. That's not fair.
This resident's facts aren't quite right. Trudeau did not grant citizenship at the airport, and the monthly support payments received by refugees are not higher than federal pension payments. But the sentiment she expresses is real.
They are really upset. They are more upset than anybody you talk to because they've played by the rules and they say these folks are jumping the queue and they're getting all of this taxpayer money and it's not right and they want us to shut it down.
The PPC candidate agrees immigration is an issue.
We have to close our borders. Having 70,000 refugees skipping the line is not a good thing because a lot of immigrants that I spoke to spent 3 years and a lot of money coming to Canada. So it's not fair to have 40 to 70,000 people just crossing the border.
But issues of immigration, the environment, and affordability seemingly have taken a back seat after the release of this picture from 2001 of Justin Trudeau in brown face. It's an issue all Liberal candidates are being forced to address. How do you think that will impact your campaign?
Well, I don't know. He's apologized. It was wrong. It was something that he should not have done, and he's taken responsibility for it. He apologized, and I feel the same way. It was wrong. It was racist, and it shouldn't have happened.